It is a great day to wear the orange and the Summit blue tonight. Lady Vols season opener tonight versus Samford, 6:30 p.m. SEC Network Plus. If you can't get through your cable company, your satellite, look on the ESPN app. If you have that login to where you can get the SEC Network, you'll be able to get the SEC Network Plus tonight as well. But the Lady Vols kick off one of two this week. They play tonight against Samford. They play Thursday night against UT Martin, both in Thompson Bowling Arena, known as the Food City Center. But if you watch the Lady Vols last week against Carson Newman, I don't know that you could have had any more of an exciting opener. I get it's Carson Newman and such, but close to 10,000 people in attendance for the exhibition. It said it was the second most attended exhibition of the Lady Vols. The Kim Caldwell era started off. We've talked about excitement. We've talked about run and gun. We've talked about playing defense, shooting threes. This team did it all. Those stats from last week were absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. They were video game numbers. What do we expect tonight coming out of this team? So if we look at it here as well, of course, it's kind of going to be a little bit of a Lady Vols preview of the season and the game tonight. Of course, top returners for the Lady Vols, Jewel Spear, Sarah Puckett. That was your main returners from last season from a production standpoint. Tess Darby comes back, ranks fifth in all-time in three-pointers made. Depth, who was returning, of course, Jillian Hollingshed, Destiny Wells, Edie Darby, Avery Strickland. And then, of course, they added through the portal. And, you had a couple players who were not able to play last year as well. Talasia Cooper, who transferred from South Carolina. She was a top 20 recruit in 2022 coming out. And then Kania Boyd, who comes in last year as well. She was a top 40 recruit for 2024. She was the only high school recruit for Kelly Harper's staff previously. So those two will make their season debuts tonight. And then, of course, you have your transfers they added who come out and made some noise in that opener last week. Of course, Ruby Whitehorn was phenomenal in that opener. She had 29 points. You had Samara Spencer, who's going to run the point guard. She had 7 points, 8 assists on the night. You had Z Spearman, who had 17 points on the night, 3 rebounds. 3 assists, 2 rebounds. You had Favor Iredale. You had Alyssa Latham as well. They played a little bit less the other night, not much in terms of what they did, but with the Lady Vols, they had 3 ladies who played over 20 minutes. It was pretty evenly spread. Of course, you didn't really need to wear anybody out in that game, but just their shooting that night, 19 out of 48 from three-point range. That shows you they're going to shoot a lot of threes. And the absolutely insane stat of the night in that one is that they had 30 steals over 40 turnovers forced. I'm sorry, that is absolutely ungodly. That is crazy. So, what do we expect tonight coming out of talking about Samford and what they bring to the table? They are preseason picked 3rd in the Southern Conference. Lady Vols does say they've won like 24 straight home openers. Last year, Samford finished 14-16 in the conference, 6-8 league play. Their top player is Kennedy Langham. She was named to the preseason All-Southern Conference team. She did play in 30 games, started 13 last year, said she averaged 8.2 points, 2.9 rebounds per game. She did tally 20 points on a couple of occasions. 3 starters, 6 total letter winners for Samford returns this year. Sadie Stetson is one who started 30 games last year, averaged 8.7 points. She was the team's second leading scorer. And it said Emily Bowman, a 6'5" center, started 28 games a year ago, 7.9 points, 8.5 rebounds, 74 blocks. So that's something Lady Vols will have to watch inside. That is an inside presence for Samford. How does Z Spearman, how does Hollingshed, how do they defend against, lady 6'5" on that? Of course, Samford's coach is Carly Coons. This is her 6th season. She's 72 and 75. She came from Valdosta State before. She was 64 and 29 beforehand. So, like I said, tip starts at 6:30. What do we expect tonight? Do we expect Carson Newman numbers? I don't think so. You're stepping up competition a bit, but you want to continue to see that that Kim Caldwell style. Fast-paced, three-pointers, running the break. And I think it's, something as well. I don't think you just want to see controlled chaos. You want to see some controlled basketball, but it's going to be their style. They're going to run and gun. They're going to go fast. The biggest thing for them is, it's building up. This is going to be a rough schedule as you get into the season because, you look at the first few. They've got Samford tonight, UT Martin on Thursday. You got Middle Tennessee next Tuesday, Liberty 2 Saturdays from now. You got Western Carolina, and then you get into Florida State will be the first test for the lady, or it should be the first test on December 4th as they come in for the SEC ACC Women's Basketball Challenge. You play Iowa in the Barclays Center on December 7th. You've got North Carolina Central, Memphis, Richmond, Tulsa, Winthrop, and then you get into SEC play. And, of course, mixed in with SEC play, they do get UConn and Knoxville on February 6th. So if you looked at it, some of that schedule ahead of time, this is, especially once they get to conference play, SEC is loaded for women's basketball. Of course, South Carolina has been picked to win the national championship again this year. For the Lady Vols, it's reestablishing your place. Not necessarily are you going to be the top team this year, you go win the conference, you go win national championship, but it's getting respect back in this program. I'm not necessarily saying they've lost respect, but it ain't it's not been the Lady Vols standard that we've known. And, that should never drop. That should never, sometimes your bloods drop a little bit. That does not mean it's okay. So for Kim Caldwell, somebody who has won everywhere she's been, got news for you. She's going to come in and plan to win here as well. It definitely looks like you've got a coach who's going to be exciting. But, the biggest thing as well, she wins. She wins. That's what you want. She's a winner. It says it on the preview on utsports.com. She has won 87.5% of her games, 217 and 31 in 8 seasons, 149 and 13. Yes, I know it's not the SEC. It was Glenville State where she won the national championship there. She went to Marshall in 1 season, and she won the Sun Belt Conference regular season and the conference tournament. You can mark my words on it. Kim Caldwell, she put together a good staff as well. She had numerous associate head coaches that come in. She's put in recruiters. This is going to be a style that's going to play with the women's college basketball game. This is a style, I think, it seems to me that the excitement is the most it's been in a long time down here. I don't think the excitement's been there for a bit. Kelly Harper was a great Lady Vol. I would say you look hindsight 2020, and I don't think a lot of people were necessarily crazy about the Kelly Harper hire when it happened, other than the fact that she was an ex-Lady Vol, or she's a VFL. Don't get me wrong, but the fact that she played for the Lady Vols, this hire, it's outside the family. Frankly, it's what needed, and it's somebody that's going to bring in an exciting brand, somebody who's getting out, going to reestablish that brand as well. 6:30 tonight. I'll be live directly after the game tonight. I'll go for about 30 minutes. If we get to super chats I'm looking for tonight, we'll go further than that. So I'm going to set goals on that along the way instead of just rambling on most of the time like I'm apt to do. Thank you guys for your support. It means so much on here for where we come. Channel 2,145 subscribers in 11 months. The goal is I want to get to 3,000 for the end of this year. It's a pretty big number to go, but I still think we can get there. Share this thing out. And if you're a viewer, a regular viewer, and you've not subscribed, check that out. Hit that subscribe button as well. But I hope to see you guys later tonight. This is Frank Rock. This is the House of Orange Sports Channel. Have a great rest of your day. And last but most certainly not least, go Vols. And tonight, and always, go Lady Vols.